everyone. We're hosting Creo Engine today as our second IDO on SpinStarter. It will be a very nice and smooth conversation with team questions and community questions. We are glad to host them. I hope you enjoyed the AMA video session as well. There will be more videos on upcoming days on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the button to subscribe and enjoy watching for every IDO AMA video on our channel. I'm going to give the word to Jorge and Justin. Have a nice, great session, guys.
So thank you for joining us today, Darrell and Gani. Thank you for sharing all the info you're going to do now with us. Justin, thank you for joining me today, and Ali-chan too. So to not stall a lot the AMA, before we kick the AMA, we'd like to give you some time to pitch about Creo Engine and what is it, and can you mention your involvement in the project, and maybe you can be short, like in 1-2 minutes. Thank you.
Sure. So, my name's Daryl. I'm the co-founder, developer, and the CTO of the Creo Engine Ecosystem. We started this project sometime early August, but we actually truly began our work, this month, September. And my involvement is, I'm here to develop and create products, for this venture. And, I'm also here trying to direct everybody into, creating, the Creoverse, the platform, all these things that, we have to do to get ourselves out there, right? So, basically what the Creo Engine platform is, we're trying to make it like Steam. It is a massive library of GameFi products, right? But the kicker is that, we are trying to connect these games together. And these games are what we call interoperable, right? Which means games are able to send NFT assets from, one game to another game for various uses. And the philosophy behind this platform essentially is, the preservation of value, right? Where an item that you worked hard on can transcend the game that it's from to be used in other games. And this is going to probably happen in the metaverse setting, and especially, in the blockchain setting where everything is so secure, everything is pretty much possible. So we're trying to break down the boundaries that Web2 has set for us, where, we are limited to the games we play, but with our platform, you could play any game you want, and you could transcend those assets to different games as you please. And that is our core vision, that is our core foresight, so to speak. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, thank you. Myself, I'm very enthusiastic about Creo Engine. I've been watching you guys for a lot of months. So I really hope that everyone watching this AMA will get the same feeling as I have already with the Creo Engine. So thank you. And now going into the project, what would you say that are the key differences among the other projects in the blockchain? Why do you think that Creo Engine will outstand among the others?
All right. So as I mentioned before, a key difference is that our platform infrastructure is scalable, right? Which means that developers could upload their games and connect their games to other games within the platform. So developers could essentially create their own ecosystems with their own intrinsic values, right? So what we're trying to create is scalable. And you can imagine that if our platform is able to facilitate them and uploading their games and creating solid interconnected products, then, this is basically our strong suit. And we believe that, we want to actually create also, we have our in-house studio, right? So, we funded our own in-house studio to create our own products. And, a lot of games, a lot of crypto products we see today, they outsource their jobs, they outsource their work to other studios. Oftentimes those games come back shoddy and they don't look that good, right? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to create good quality games people actually want to play, So with that in mind, our platform,
that's an obstacle in blockchain gaming. There are many demos and there are many games that people cannot play or cannot enjoy. So
that's right.
Yeah.
And that's a sad thing, because a lot of games that make money, they're just there to make money, right? What we're trying to do is we're trying to make experience a service, right? So, there's a philosophy in Web2 game design that, games are not fun. They are a service. They're a service for people to actually enjoy and, to delve deep into. Why not make a service that's fun, but also profitable? Not just in terms of generating income, but also procuring and creating assets that have long-term value. And that is our core philosophy and our difference, so to speak, if that answers the question. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, as I said before, I think you're gonna make a change in the blockchain gaming. So now going into the Gamified ecosystem, you define yourself as Gamified ecosystem platform. What exactly do you mean by this? I mean, the Gamified part, basically, it's the game finance. So I think I can understand, but how do you describe yourself as a gamified ecosystem platform? I mean,
gamification of an ecosystem, right? So our platform essentially not only sells games, and they don't just promote, it doesn't just promote games or doesn't just showcase games, right? Our platform also will try to gamify assets that those games are generating, right? So in the sense that, when you're playing these games, you're earning these assets, and those assets could benefit you and your profile. When your profile is benefited, from playing these games, you'll be able to earn incentives, bonuses from playing more games. So the more games you play, the more assets you have from all these multiple different games, the more benefits that you have as a profile within the platform that could, potentially enhance your experience in playing different games. And that's just basically the whole idea behind this philosophy of gamification, So if you think about it this way, another aspect is that, our games are not mini games, right? They're different types of games. They're distinct in genre, they're distinct in also function and capabilities, right? So the gamification to gamify an ecosystem, you must make sure that the games that are within those ecosystems, they are lengthy. They're not just there to make money. Like I said before, they're there to actually, provide a good experience. And that's gamification right there. Yeah. So that's basically what I mean personally by to gamify an ecosystem, where players that play our games could benefit, the games that they play with below the platform, not just the games they're playing right now, or not that singular game. I hope that helps. Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely resolve and answer my questions. You mentioned it before that developers can add their games to the ecosystem. Can you say how are you providing some tools for people to create their own games?
Oh yeah, we're working very hard right now in creating a very, very intuitive interface for developers to put their games in ecosystem. Now, putting their game on ecosystem is easy. It's just simple, upload a few things, descriptions. It's like basically putting a game on a Google Play Store. The challenge for us is how do you create an interface that developers could use to connect their games to other games, right? To create this whole interoperable ecosystem. And that involves templates. So, our first approach is to create templates where developers could, say, hey, why not I use my materials in the game to craft collectibles on game number 2? So a template like that, a connection like that could be beneficial because now players will play, their games to craft collectibles that could be used in another game entirely. And this is all not automated, but this is all involving, the streamlining and of course, human input as well. And, it's not going to be easy, but, this interface, if it could work really well, we could streamline this whole process so that games are there and they maintain their integrity. Because the last thing you want is for developers to just connect their games randomly without any security, and then the games break apart, and that's pretty dangerous. Yeah. So hopefully that helps a little bit.
Now, is it possible for games that are not play to earn or blockchain related to join Creo Engine? If yes, that will help, I think, to attract people from outside the crypto space and maybe make them join the crypto, but without a crypto game.
You know what? This is an idea that I've been thinking about for the past 3 weeks. So, essentially, if you upload a conventional game where it's offline, then the platform will have to generate assets that reward you for playing that conventional single player game. Let's say play God of War, right? Well, guess what? Now, as platform creators, we have to create assets in the platform that can be used to boost your profile, to boost your playing experiences, and etc. Like God of War, for example, we have to create an axe, maybe a sticker, maybe a statue. I don't know. The possibilities are endless. But guess what? Like I mentioned before, gamified ecosystems, right? So we have a profile system in our platform that allows you to have certain benefits from owning certain assets within the platform. So if you play conventional games, well, guess what? We could strike a deal with conventional games, saying, hey, if we upload your game to our platform, we're going to create assets to help you, we're going to create assets to help you get users from the crypto space. With that happening, you could allow those assets to help players play their other games below the Creo and the Creoverse platform. So yeah, we will definitely are keen in trying to make that happen with conventional games, but that is still in the distant future. Hope that helps.
Okay, thank you. And now I'm curious about the Creoverse. You mentioned it a lot of times on the website and on the white paper. Basically, the Creoverse, it's the whole ecosystem, or is it something different? And furthermore,
the Creoverse is the platform. It is everything, right?
Yeah.
So every game that we're gonna make and we're gonna onboard will be below this one platform, and they'll be all governed under one token, the Creo token, right? So the demand for the token will increase exponentially, especially as more games come on board, because people they don't just want to buy the token, they need to buy the token. The token is there to to basically do everything below the platform, from transactions, trades, and cashing out, and we don't have those silly, wait for 1 week to cash out your token system. We're like, hey, play our games, make money, and guess what? You can cash out whenever you want. Of course, we have to be very careful and very, very, very steady with that. So that is what we're trying to create. It's pretty ambitious, but we do believe that if this is successful, at least in Indonesia and Southeast Asia, this will be very lucrative and very beneficial for all of us.
Yeah, I completely agree. Now talking into the games that are going to be on the Creoverse and the whole ecosystem, right now there are 4 games: the Evermore Nights, the Slime Haven, the Peony Ranch, and the Merchant Marvels. Can you elaborate what kind of games can we expect? And yeah, basically.
So the games we're trying to create are mobile games. Now, why are we doing this? Because most of the Indonesians use Android phones, right? And most of them want to make income. $10, $5 a day. Now that could really help them get food. They could really help them, buy stuff for their parents, for their friends. So, we're trying to make very riveting games for mobile games, specifically mobile games for the Indonesian people, right? So these games are all mobile games. And, we're trying to make it so that, people have access to these games, right? They could actually be played. They could actually be, enjoyed by everyone in this country, at least. And there's a huge demand for mobile games. I think the mobile market is extremely lucrative in this country. So, our first game, for example, is a gacha game, right? It fits within the Asian rhetoric, the Asian market, so to speak. So that is potentially what we're trying to do, in terms of game types and game genres. Yeah, we're trying to go for games that are, fun. And we tackle all sorts of genres, not just one type of genre, but we tackle multiple genres that are, at least fun for us. Idle games, active games, strategy games, fighting games, farming games. We do it all. But primarily, these 4 games are, quite different in genre. So one is a RPG game, one is a pet game, one is a farming game, and one is a crafting game. So, these games are initially designed, to essentially complement each other, right? To fit the whole platform and to make it look good and make the platform work. So yeah, that's just basically what we're trying to do. Mm-hmm.
And now related to the whole games, I think you mentioned it before, but just in case for everyone to know, can I use all the assets from each game into the other game? I don't know, maybe.
That's right.
Basically, okay. So that was the question.
Yeah, you can basically. So what we're trying to do with our 2 games, which is Evermore Nights and Slime Haven, we're trying to use the pets, the NFT pets from Slime Haven to be used in the first game for various uses, let's say battle, increasing attributes. So we're trying to illustrate that this is possible, at least within our ecosystem. Then we're going to onboard developers with their games and assets to try and get them to connect to our game in many ways through our interface, through our platform. Mm-hmm.
Okay. By the way, I think Creo Engine CEO Mr.
JB is here.
Joined us.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hi, welcome.
Hello, JB. You're here.
Daryl was answering questions perfectly and fluently, but we are glad that you joined as well.
Thank you.
So
thank you. Well done.
We can keep going, Jorge. We're good.
So thank you for answering all those questions. Now we're gonna go straight into the tokenomics, and I will let Justin, my main expert, into the.
Smart Justin, huh?
No.
Continue.
I'll forward it. No worries. Okay, so continuing. Yeah, well, obviously we have some questions on the tokenomics side as well. The first one being, we actually were a part of the seed sale a while ago, and there were many questions about this. Why was the tokenomics changed after the people invested in it?
Okay, so the answer will be, it's actually like this. I think everybody here knows that this is our first project. So we started this with a very backbone experience. We trash everything. We try everything actually. Even we made our own tokenomics without consulting anyone. So we actually started getting new insights as soon as more and more partners getting in. And to tell the truth, the tokenomics actually already changed 3 times, with this one being the final. Even the fundraising part, that is also actually only 3 rounds. Now we made into 4 rounds.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So this was actually a community driven, and the changes were made for the benefit of the community. I can understand.
That's true.
It's amazing. It's crazy. So the token Creo, can you actually elaborate how it will work and what utilities will the holders have with the token?
All right. So first things first. Of course, as we are a gaming platform itself, we are we are actually going to use the Creo token as the currency, the main currency of our marketplace, and also for the gas fees, of course, in our own marketplace. Now, other than that, we will give a governance system in our we will give a governance within our ecosystem for the holders of the token, and also not long in the future we will do a staking program to earn rewards. This one, arguably, it will be around either the holder will receive Creo, or they might receive NFTs during special events. And also in game marketplace, you know that liquidity, Creo tokens will be used for liquidity in exchanges, incubation program. Now, this one actually is quite interesting, because as a platform in the future, we are going to incorporate many developers globally and locally, of course. And as they want to get into our ecosystem, they will need to use Creo, maybe to stake it, or maybe they need to buy a certain amount in order to be able to get into our ecosystem itself. That's actually the point of having Creo.
Okay, now I just want to add something. Before they mentioned that some games will be able to join the Creoverse. Will those games will be run through the Creo token, or they will have their own token?
All right, that's actually a very good question. Well, it actually doesn't matter, because we are currently creating 2 kinds of protocol for for games that have their own assets, and the one that doesn't have their own assets. But of course, this is still confidential because it is still in the development stage. We are going to allow games that have their own assets to enter our ecosystem, but with certain terms and conditions, of course.
Okay.
They don't actually have to use Creo token in their game, but as they use our marketplace, of course, they need to buy Creo in order to do the transaction.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Would you like to move to community questions now?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Please.
Sure. Yeah. So thank you for answering all our questions. Now we're gonna go with the community one. There has been a lot of questions. We cannot choose all of them.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna ask the best we have found around there. Maybe we have missed some ones, but sorry for it. We cannot answer everything. So if you have any other questions, just go to the Creo social medias, and they will answer all your questions there too. So we're gonna start right now. So Justin, please go ahead.
Yep, absolutely. Let's start with the first one. Sualp with the Twitter handle of Ekinci Sualp just asked, there are 4 games made with the Creo engine. Will the number of these games stay constant, or they will be changed in the future? They're curious if more games will be added.
I will add myself. Do you plan to create more games, or just add games from outside?
So we're gonna do both, basically. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Apologies. So we're going to do both, right? We're going to probably use our in-house studio to create more and more games, and probably use revenue from earnings to create more and more better games with better philosophies, better functions, right? And then we're probably going to onboard as much developers as possible, to add on to the ecosystem. So yeah, we're going to do both, and we're very keen in actually onboarding developers as we make more innovative products. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And now going to the next question from Crypto Niloy. At present, Creo Engine is focusing on mobile games. In the future, do you have any plans to make Creo Engine the games available for both PC and console, maybe? And I don't know, maybe some multi-platform game?
For consoles, that is a different field because consoles require exclusive permission, which is extremely difficult, for especially for cryptocurrency games. I think we need maybe wait a bit longer for that. But we are very much keen in creating one or a few games that have cross compatibility with PC and mobile users, like Genshin Impact, for example. So, yeah, PC games are something we're trying to create and trying to bridge the gap between. But, in terms of our business interests, we're trying to focus on mobile games in the meantime. Yes.
So, yeah, you mentioned it before that in Indonesia and Southeast Asia, there's a lot of mobile games. But I think that maybe in Europe and the United States and South America, I think that the PC are quite important. So I think maybe creating at least one game for PC can help you get into those regions.
Oh yeah, we're thinking about it, and we're trying to debate whether to do it with our farming game, the 3D game, but that is something we're trying to still talk about. So yeah, I would put that imagination.
Well, sounds like a plan. Let's go with the third one. So our user Baptist the Base with the Twitter handle of Riol. Can we be allowed to develop a game in Creo Engine? What is the developer's need to develop the game? Does the developer have to pay the fee to upload his game?
Okay, so if you think about it this way, right? If you look at Steam, there's an approach, right, where developers have their games greenlit and then pushed to the platform. In our case, there's no requirements unless your game. We only want your game to be safe, right? We don't want your game to be, gory, pornographic, and unsafe for work, and just destructive overall, right? You might have to pay a fee depending on your situation, right? I think in our early stages we don't want to do that because that'll scare off developers. But as we scale up and as our infrastructure, as our platform gets heavier, then we have to have income to actually facilitate ourselves better in a way. So essentially, that is what we're trying to do. And the incentives, I think he's asking what is the incentives, right? I think for developers to join the platform, right? So monetization, right? If you have a blockchain game, you need users, right? And the philosophy is that if you have a lot of users in one unified platform, then you'll have access to those users. Especially your NFTs will have utilities right off the bat because you're able to connect your NFTs to other games. That means users from other games will flock to your games because they need to, because they want to have more value from your game and their games are playing. So that's just one incentive. But once things get more, once things get a lot quicker, developers have many opportunities to monetize their games, from fees, from cuts from in-game purchases, and all that. So yeah, I hope that helps. Hello?
Sorry.
I can hear it.
Can you hear me? Yeah. And now with the playability of the games, do I need some skill to play the game? Is there any tutorial, or will there be some tutorial for everyone who wants to play? And secondly, is it going to be free to play?
Yes, these games are all free to play. And there are no skills because these games are not live, right? They're just there for casual users, but also they want to have a bit of fun, having beautiful looking assets, right? So no, our games are pretty casual. They're pretty fun to play. They're free to play. You can test your game, see if it's worth your investment, and yeah, please give us a try.
Yeah, but will there be also, you said it's fun to play and everything, but a lot of people are kind of competitive. Do you plan to add some kind of leaderboard to the games?
So for our first game, it is a strategy game. It can be, you have to collect characters and fight against other people. Yeah, that's one competitive aspect we're probably going to emphasize, especially when we have earnings if you beat people in PvP. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So going to the last question right now, Justin.
Yep, absolutely. Our last question, Opu Bala with the Twitter handle of OpuGash2. Okay, here's a tricky one. What is the appeal of Creo Engine, but say it in one word?
appeal. I'll get one word out of the way. Fast.
Fast.
That's the appeal for me. I'm already sold on this project.
From me, I
vast.
guess it will be innovative.
Innovative, fast and innovative.
Okay, so thank you for answering all the questions from the community and all our questions. Maybe you think we may have missed something about the Creo Engine project or about the game. So feel free to add anything you want. And thank you for joining me again, Ali-chan, Justin, David, Degani, Darrell, Javier. So do you have anything to add, or do you think we can wrap it up here?
So I think if I want to add something, we are working hard day and night to get things done, to get this product out in the open, but we are very much determined to, impress you guys. We're here to impress, and, please keep us in your prayers. And we're here every single way. So thank you. And, keep us in your prayers. So thank you.
Of course, gladly. Thank you for coming, guys.
Thank you.
We're glad to host you.
No
as well.
worries.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for being with us, guys. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, friends. Stay safe.
It will be a
Pleasure.
So for everyone watching, sorry.
Yes.
I was saying it will be a very smooth IDO for all the community members. Hopefully, it's Spintop. That's it.
Thank you.
All
right.
Thank you.
Hopefully.
For
the best.
guys.
For everyone watching, thank you for joining this wonderful AMA. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps us a lot. Go check the socials from Spintop and Creo Engine. Feel free to ask anything you want on the Telegram chat, on the Discord. We'll answer everything from our part and the Creo Engine part. Thank you, and see you on the next AMA. Bye, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.